In this video, we're going to look at adjusting chart styles and formatting in more depth. So far, we've looked at how we can use the formatting paintbrush next to our chart to apply different chart styles. But notice these options are also available in the Design tab of my Pivot Chart tools. For example, here I see listed a huge variety of different chart styles. As I scroll through these, I want you to observe the different properties that have been applied. For example, a black background. Or here I have a light blue fill with a dark blue border. Here I have a pattern fill. The lines on my chart have a small circle at the top of each data point, a plain formatting, my original formatting. I can even have shapes with shadows. Using these chart styles, Excel basically applies a huge variety of formatting options to the chart area and all the elements inside the chart area. But we can choose to make these customizations ourselves by highlighting different parts of the chart and customizing it manually. For example, let's start off with a plain chart, a standard formatting option. Let's say I want to change the color of these columns. There's two ways I can start to work with just these columns. The easiest way is to select the column until it is highlighted. I need to make sure that all columns are selected, and we will see why in a minute. And while my series is selected, I can right-click and go to Format Data Series. You'll notice that a new Format Data Series window has appeared. This has a huge variety of options, allowing me to customize all kinds of properties within my data series. As we looked at before, I can change, for example, the axes on which the data is plotted. I can choose the amount of overlap. Let's go to some of the more conventional options I may want to change, and that of the fill. At the moment, we have an automatic fill applied. Excel has decided that it is most appropriate for this chart to fill the color in blue. But I can also choose my own fill. My radio button has moved from automatic to solid fill, a solid fill of my choosing. And I can also choose different options for my fill, such as a gradient fill. I can also choose even pictures, pattern fill, and inverted negatives. Let's look at a particularly fun feature by using pictures or textured fill. First of all, I'm going to create an object. I'm going to insert an arrow onto the page. I'm now going to select my arrow and use the shortcut Ctrl+C to copy it to the clipboard. From here, I'm going to select my data series again, return to my fill options, and now I'm going to fill from picture or textured fill. I select the radio button and I can insert a picture from a file, from online, or from a clipboard. I've just copied my arrow to the clipboard, so let's use paste from clipboard. And now you can see, instead of the standard columns, I now have upward arrows represented. Perhaps a little gimmicky, but you may be able to express some interesting information by changing the formatting of your columns. When working with different data series or data points specifically, it can be a little bit tricky to select them. At the moment here I have a very large column which I can work with, or I can click on this line which is very big and visible. But sometimes if I wanted to select just the individual data point in January, it may be a little bit difficult to not select the axis or not select the line chart. If I want to specifically tell Excel which area I want to work with, I can go into my Format tab within the Pivot Chart tools, move over to the left-hand side, and choose what area of the chart I want to format. Here I can format anything that has been added to the chart as an element. For example, if I have an horizontal axis, I can format that axis, or the legend or the plot area, any part of the chart. So this gives me the ability to, for example, select the series total sales, and you'll see my selection has been activated. Or I could choose my other series, sum of units, and that is also activated. Once I have selected the series or data point that I want to work with, I can then make all my formatting options in this format window. There are simply too many options within chart formatting. As you can see, I can change from lines to markers, transparency, the widths, and a huge number of different properties of my chart series and chart types. It is important for you to understand that you can access these elements of the chart by selecting them either directly or by using the drop-down menu within the Format tab, and that you can then customize it to pretty much any output that you choose by changing these options. So again, like with many other of our chapters, this is a case of opening up an example workbook and trying out these different charting options for yourself. Find out what works, what styles suit you best, and learn your way around the charts.